everyone. Welcome to the Building Code. I'm your host, Courtney Mattern. We have a special episode today because I'm joined live in the studio with two Omaha builders, Katie and Greg Frazell from G. Lee Homes. We're going to talk today about the Street of Dreams and using Buildertrend and making your business shine. So welcome to Buildertrend. How are you guys?
Thanks for having us. I'm great.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you.
Yeah. So for our listeners, you guys this is your first time on the Building Code.
It is.
Yes, it is. So why don't we take a few minutes and why don't you tell us about yourselves? Tell us about G. Lee Homes.
All right. Take it away.
Take it away.
Yeah, here's where we see who's in charge. Who's going to kick us off?
Yeah.
Well, I'm in charge, but I'm going to let him take it away.
I like it. So G. Lee Homes. So my name's Greg. Middle name's Lee. Frazell is hard to say.
So it's named for you.
Yeah. So it's G. Lee. So it's actually my grandfather was Gary Lee. Her dad is Gary Lee, and our son is Ryan Lee. So the G. Lee was it was pretty cool. So it fell off of it just kind of fell on our plate, I suppose. And then there was this show that came out, totally random, but this show comes out right after we started G. Lee Homes called Glee. And so we actually had to change our logo because people were calling us Glee Homes when we started.
Do you do a song and dance then when you show up on the job site like a musical?
So then, I mean, mistakenly people ask if my last name is Lee, which is not correct. So yeah, G. Lee Homes Frazell. I'm a carpenter by trade. Katie is the brains behind everything. So we've evolved. We started small and we're coming up on 20 years now of building. It's been a fun road. We've
kind of started out of necessity. We got married, bought a house, all the things all at once in 2004. And then he got laid off from his job. And we were like, well, we got to start a company because that's what you do before you think things
That's
through.
very Midwest
Yes.
you to be like, I got to pull ourselves up.
We're just going to do this.
We're just going to start a company.
Yeah. So that's what we did. And he's a carpenter. So we did started small and then kind of let it grow to where it is.
It's a great team. I mean, we have a lot of longevity within the company. I mean, we've gone from building 1 to 2 homes a year when we first started, me framing them and siding them and cabinets and everything else to there's 13 of us in the office. We've got in-house selections, full drafting, design, and have really grown into the true custom field. So custom was where we were at. I'm a big design guy. I am a carpenter by trade, but studied architecture, and so that's just kind of where it grew. Building has always been my passion. So
yeah. So is construction like in your genes? Was this as a family trade, or are you first generation?
No. So my dad, I was raised by a painter.
Yeah.
So I would say I'm the first generation builder. But no, construction is something that has been in my background. I've been around it my whole life. So.
There's something kind of homey, but my grandpa was a contractor, and even though I've landed in marketing doing all the fun stuff, like I wore a lot of like neon construction t-shirts growing up as a kid. So it's definitely homey, and I can relate. So we're here to talk about the Street of Dreams. And when this episode airs, like I said earlier, like we're kind of working in the future here. It'll be Street of Dreams week. Let's tell our listeners, some of them might be familiar with Street of Dreams or things like Parade of Homes. Tell us about Omaha's Street of Dreams.
Well, I mean, first off, being the week of the Street of Dreams, since we're in the future, I mean, it was a breeze, totally easy to get there. There were no hiccups. No,
we're manifesting the future right now. We're going to make it. It is going to be flawless the next month. No,
so this is actually our 5th Street of Dreams. This show is unique. Last year was our first year as MOBA to do a multi-site Street of Dreams, this is our 2nd year for that. So it's unique for us because we've always done the single Street of Dreams. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. We're used to large amounts of people through the home constantly. We've really focused the schedule to fit outside of work hours and appeal to people, to try to bring qualified people into the show. It'll be interesting to see how many people show up. I think the numbers were down last year, but from the feedback of the other builders, it allowed them to have great conversation and really be able to take time and focus with people that were interested in different features in the home. So
and for all of our listeners at home, MOBA is Metro Omaha Builders Association. Do I have that right?
Correct. Yes. So Metro Omaha's Builders Association, that is the local association here. I believe we're like 75 years or some crazy number.
Wow.
You can probably edit that out because you might have to fact
We have to fact check that.
Yeah,
we'll put it in the show notes.
There was just an anniversary, and I should know this, but it's been around for a while. So the Street of Dreams, Omaha was the beginning of the Street of Dreams. There are a lot of other metropolitan areas that came to see what we did here in the beginning and have grown from there. It's the largest, marketing tool that a local builder has to be able to showcase their home. We do have parades, but this will be fully furnished. Their designers are involved, high-end homes, full landscape. I mean, it's really something to see.
Yeah. So even if you're not a builder here in the Omaha area, usually if you're involved with your Home Builders Association, there are a lot of events like this all across the country where you can showcase, kind of show off, this is what we can do, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's a ticketed event. So, the people that are coming, they're coming, it's not just to go walk around, they're actually expecting something that they bought a ticket for it. So I think everybody goes above and beyond with their furniture and just with the whole experience to make sure that people get something out of it.
You said this is your second year on the Street of Dreams.
Fifth
year.
Yes.
All right.
So it's our fifth time we've done it. Our first Street of Dreams was 10 years ago.
Oh, wow. So, okay,
2014.
let's talk about that. The first year, when you signed up, what were you expecting and how did it turn out?
So the Street of Dreams and MOBA specifically actually played a huge role in me coming into the industry. So when I was in high school, I was in an architecture course, and there was a competition that MOBA put on for this design. And so we worked all year to design this home and build a 3D model and have it set. The MOBA competition was on a Wednesday, and the course required the project to be done that Friday.
Oh, wow.
And
it's tight turnaround.
True builder form. We worked on it all year, so I wasn't ready for the Wednesday competition. I just turned it in to get the grade. So it always made MOBA have this special place in my heart when it comes to bringing young individuals into the industry, knowing that there are kids out there that you can't quantify or qualify how those sorts of programs reach out and get kids interested, get people interested in this industry. And so going into the 14th Street of Dreams, there's a little bit of backstory to that. It's kind of boring, but going into the 14th Street of Dreams, we were asked if we would do it. That was the first year that MOBA had the Street of Dreams back. We had been really building for 10 years, but in the true custom world for really only about 3 years. And so we were very, very green when it came to how to make it happen. And the design was awesome. I mean, I loved that home.
People still talk about that house. I mean, really, people will still say they remember features of that house. It was an awesome house.
It was great. And it to look back at time frame, we were able to complete that house in just under 8 months. And it was a lot of 2-3 a.m. nights there finishing it. I remember the first day that I was actually in the show, sitting in the house. I was perspiring uncontrollably, and I couldn't talk. I was so nervous, and it was like I had superhuman hearing, and I could hear everybody critiquing everything that we did. But coming out of it, there was no People's Choice Award that year. We had great feedback. It rolled us into the 15th Street of Dreams was in a development that was only offered to the builders that were in the development. But then the 2016 Street of Dreams, we had a pre-sold that we went into and won the People's Choice Award on that one. So it just kind of fed into the years where Street of Dreams has become the single largest marketing piece that we have for our business, and has.
No, it was a huge blessing. The 2014, as stressful as it was. I mean, it was actually in our personal lives. We our fifth kid had just been born that March,
Oh, wow.
like that summer. It was a wild time. I look back and I'm like, I don't even really remember. It was just kind of chaotic at all times. But that's really where we live our lives. And I think we find some comfort in chaos.
Yeah.
But that's,
You'd fit right in here at Buildertrend. We're the same way.
Just accept it as just what we.
So when you did the first Street Dreams, did you feel like you were ready as a company, or did you just have to take the leap?
We had to take the leap. I mean, it was, everything from taking the risk on the financing, because it was a spec home. It wasn't sold. Taking risks on design. It was a totally outside the box thought process. And I mean, I would, not to sound conceited, but we did it well, and it worked out well for us. So I've since, I was on the board with MOBA and actually president for 3 years running. And I'm no longer on the board. I've let that kind of go, but encouraging younger builders to get involved and take that risk. And you'll hear, oh, it's a lot of work, but really, I mean, it's an incredible opportunity. And I imagine it's the same in other markets as well. I imagine that Omaha, it's not the only market that it's a great opportunity to showcase your
talk about the payoff. Like, you've mentioned marketing twice, which I love, being a marketing person. Like, you got to put an investment in promoting your skills, promoting like what sets you apart. So what are some of the payoffs, both marketing wise and maybe some unexpected payoffs of participating?
Yeah. So I'll let Katie talk about the true marketing. She's our marketing gal, but I will say that, we have experienced customers coming in to start design, begin design, as much as 8 years after the show, referring to a specific home that we did, and they'll keep those books with them for years. And you think in our age of, digital advertising and everything that we've grown to, just physically having that book that's put together well, they keep it. I mean, we know that there's people that travel to Omaha just to walk through as just interest, strictly out of interest. They come to walk through the street.
It sort of gets you past that consideration phase. Like, they already know who you are and what you're capable of. So like, they're sold.
Yep. Yeah, it is. It puts you to be able to say that you're a Street of Dreams builder, a previous Street of Dreams builder. It establishes a baseline. But then from a marketing piece, I mean,
well, it was really nice for us to have those completed projects, to have people walk through, because in the custom home world, it is, we don't have a model because we don't build the same house over again. So to have a completed house that people can walk in, you can have a conversation about, you can touch it, you can feel it. Even if it's not the house that they would build, it's still nice to be in something. And that was, I think, really just pivotal for us to have those conversations in a home that we built that was high quality, just to show people. And then to have the photos of it afterwards was a huge benefit for us, because when we build a custom home for someone, they're moving in, they're unpacking. Sometimes they don't have their furniture for a year. And at that point, you really don't want to invade their home always. And thankfully, people have been very generous to allow us back in and take great pictures. But it's having those was huge for us.
For sure. What would you say then to some builders who are, they think like that's an old school way to get, attention, or maybe it's too risky? What would you tell them?
I'd tell them to take the risk.
Take the risk.
I would say, I would say take the risk. I mean, it's hard to say if there's a lot of new ways that you can get out there. Instagram, for instance, I find myself looking at builders from across the country, and you get into their reels and they're super interesting, and but that becomes repetitive. I mean, there's something that's personal about walking into a completed home, meeting the builder, meeting the team, seeing the passion that goes in behind it. I mean, I would say that that was pivotal in us creating our niche, our model, is that there is that personal connection with the folks that we're building for. And it's not just building a house, it's designing and building a home. And so you have to have that personal piece.
Yeah. People still refer back. I got an email this week that said, we met you at the Street of Dreams in 2021, and you talk to a lot of people, and I remember talking to a lot of people that day. I don't remember, everything about the conversation, but it sticks with them. And so just that one-on-one, eyes on eyes, like personal relationship, like your builder is a real person. We have a house too. We've got a family. We understand what the challenges and the whole process of what you're going to be going through. And it's nice to have that personal relationship.
Yeah. It's really interesting that you say that. Just before this episode, we had a builder from Atlanta on, Steven Sanders Myers. His episode will actually air a couple episodes after this. But they do semi-custom homes. They're really deep in sustainability. We're talking about technology, but he said it still comes back to passion, right? Like why you got started in founding your company, and that a house really is meant to be experienced. Like come in, touch the countertops, like open the drawers, and experience the house and what it feels like and what you've built. So this year with your Street of Dreams house, and the experience, like what lessons did you learn the first few times that you applied this time that you think is going to set you up for success?
So, I mean, timeline calendar, master calendar is key.
And this is where we talk about Buildertrend. No.
Right, yes. Exactly. Yep. So we do utilize the master calendar and Buildertrend. No, I mean, this year for us is going to be an additionally unique experience because our designer is the homeowner. And so instead of using just the in-house design that we have, and it was an independent draftsman that designed the home, and then the interior design is done by the homeowner who's going to live there. So we really get to take that role as a contractor and putting the pieces together. There's collaboration, and we discuss different techniques and maybe bring some of our input to help to improve upon the design. And I think that synergy works well. But it is a unique experience in a Street of Dreams to know that our team that we've built over the years didn't have as much to do with this one. So it's been great. It's been a great experience. And not to say that we don't do that. I mean, in the past, over the years, there's been multiple people that have come with full design packets, and they've been, it was pre-designed by an outside draftsman, and we continue to do that. But historically, our Street of Dreams have always been something that we worked through the design. We jumped into it, and I'm really excited about how this is turning out. I mean, I see some very creative people that have come together and put a nice product together. So
when you work on a project like this, do you have a pretty aggressive timeline?
Yes.
Yeah. And you can't control the weather.
And that,
and here in Omaha, it's been no joke lately.
Absolutely.
Straight line winds, tornadoes, rain.
I think we're getting more tonight.
I know.
It's terrible. So this is real time. This isn't the week of Street of Dreams, because the week of Street of Dreams is going to be beautiful.
Yeah, as we sit here, it's August, so we're hoping that by September it's going to be gorgeous fall weather.
It will be absolutely gorgeous. The best time in Nebraska, but if the rain could just give us a little break.
Us a break. So what will we see in this year's Street of Dreams houses? Like, is there something trendy, something bold, something that you took a big risk on this is the week of, so it's not too far of a sneak peek.
Yeah.
It's not like anybody else can come in and scoop your idea.
So I think the trends that we've seen, they're beginning to move away from the modern contemporary style, and they're coming back more into a traditional classic style. So light and bright is something that you'll see a lot of. You'll see a lot of half round arches. And I think that's going to be consistent through multiple builders. It is a trend. We're seeing it in quite a few of our homes that we're building outside of the Street of Dreams. We do actually have a very cool feature.
Super excited about it.
So there's a massive window over the tub, next to the tub in the master bedroom. And it's clear glass until you push a button and smart film, and then it frosts.
Oh, cool.
So it's going to be, it's a really neat feature. We have done it in another home, but to have that in the bathroom, to be able to let natural light in, but then also maintain that privacy, it hits a a need. That's something that we've dealt with for years, because the question is always, do we just have blinds and then you pull the blinds, or do you do
who wants
frosted
to put
glass?
like blinds in their new beautiful
I know.
bathroom?
Right.
But who wants to shower in front of an open window?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So, so that's a really cool feature. There is, being that she is a designer, there's a home design office that's above the garage.
Cool.
That will be a very unique space. There's quite a few features in the home. We won't give too many details.
Yeah, we'll have to link to Street of Dreams and some online features and stuff when we put in our show notes, so that people can take a peek. I know last night I was on Google Maps, like scoping out. There's 5 homes on the Street of Dreams,
Correct.
and I was like, all the builders are using Buildertrend, so just for our sake,
Because we're here.
yeah, since you're here, and you've been Buildertrend customers for how long?
2012.
I really think
2012.
Yeah.
right off the bat. So my sister was a friend of Dan's in high school. And so when we started building, she said, well, my friend has this little company. You should call them. And so we went over to the office on Q Street, and we I seriously think we walked in. We're like, hey, we need you. Something like that. Like, show us what you got. There was like a handful of employees and a beer tap.
Yep.
And we were
Some
like,
things
I
have changed.
love this
We have
place.
more employees, but we still got beer.
I
on
know.
tap.
I love it.
Maybe somebody back in the studio, Chelsea or Sean or John, maybe one of you can look up Geely Homes, and we can maybe reveal at the end of the episode what your customer number is. Like, there's always...
I'm curious.
Yeah, we've had thousands and thousands of customers. They're going to look it up. I just got the...
No, I love it.
How early?
I love it. Actually, it was the International Builder Show. Oh no, it wasn't Builder Show. It was another one that we were on the cover of the International Builder Show, or 2014 Street of Dreams, and it was Advanced House Plans. I thought it was Buildertrend, but it's not. But
Right. Yes.
huge presence there too. But
Yeah, we always go to Vegas every year.
yeah,
Yes.
we should go next year.
It's
It'll be fun.
Yeah, so 2012 was when we started using Buildertrend. It's been integrated in our company since. I mean, we've changed policies and procedures within the company based upon how Buildertrend has evolved over the years.
We're much different than we were in.
Totally different.
Well, it's actually funny. We would say something like, have a conversation, be like, oh, I wish it did this, and then it would roll out
Then
on
like
the next
10 seconds
roll
later,
out
we update.
and it's like, oh, now they're doing that. That's awesome. But I would say just we refer back to our Buildertrend jobs. I mean, right now, unfortunately, with the tornado, we lost some of our homeowners lost their home, and so we can go back to their Buildertrend and pull files and pull conversations and just
help them rebuild.
But seeing how we used it then, even a few years ago, and how we're using it now, we just constantly improving in our own company based on the features that are available. So it's I would say very pivotal in our
we're absolutely locked in. Like,
well, you said that the first Street of Dreams, you're sweating bullets, you're nervous. Is there anything, whether it's Buildertrend or some part of your process or how you've matured as a company, what is it today that helps you? Like, maybe you won't be sweating the night before Street of Dreams.
He's older now.
I'm older.
Wiser.
I have a saying that everybody I think is tired of me saying.
Oh gosh,
but,
which one is it going to be?
Yeah, we're not saving babies. Like, at the end of the day, we're building homes. We're not saving babies, and this is something that even in those high stress moments, anything can be fixed. Mm-hmm. We're building something from scratch. Like, if it's broken, we can fix it. So, staying on top of the schedule in the beginning and not allowing those days to move when you're in a framing stage and you're in your rough end stage and you stay efficient.
Yeah.
It helps you to get finished at the end. But honestly, sometimes you need that spark. You need that light up I have this challenge in front of me, and it takes my attention away from the mundane, continue that this is just a consistent, it's the next job. It's the next job. Sometimes it's fun to hey, this is exciting. There's a lot of eyes.
Complacent.
Right.
So before we wrap up on this episode, we've got builders all across the United States, probably on the cusp of greatness. They need a fire under them. Like, what would you say for each of you, like the number one reason to participate in a Parade of Homes, a Street of Dreams, just and one of these opportunities that allows you to really show off what you're capable of? Katie, I'll let you go first.
I would say just the exposure that it gives you to people that walk through. It's just the exposure.
Yeah, at the end of the day, this industry still is very relationship based.
Absolutely.
There's nothing better than inviting people in to see firsthand what you can create. Greg, what about you?
You know, it really is just taking that risk and getting yourself out there. I mean, you have to get outside of your comfort zone in order to be successful. Successful and being impactful doesn't come by just sitting on the sidelines, right? I mean, you have to put yourself out there. And if you don't take the risk, if you don't show somebody what it is that you're able to do, and you don't believe in yourself enough to take that risk, people are going to have a hard time believing in you, outside of that. So it's a great avenue. It was a great avenue for us. I'm sure that there are other things that people are doing. I'm not saying it's the only way to get your business rolling, but if you are a younger builder and you know that you have something that is unique, I can't think of a better way to get a physical product out in front of the public. So.
And I bet you've already learned lessons this time around. That's going to be fuel for the next time. Do you think there's another Street of Dreams in the future after, you said this is number 5?
It's technically our 6th home. We did 2 in 1 year.
Oh my goodness, overachiever.
I know, right? I mean, I wouldn't count it out. I think Street of Dreams is something that is part of our business plan. So I anticipate that there will be more for us.
Yeah, it has to line up, well with the timeline of everything. I would say we wouldn't do it if it was going to impact negatively other projects or something like that, because you still have a business to run and customers to make happy and all that stuff. But I mean, the lesson, unfortunately, it's a custom process, and whatever we were learning this time, we'll try to apply it, but we'll just, I don't know if I've learned anything specific.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Greg and Katie, for coming into the office, the Buildertrend office, and joining us and talking about Street of Dreams. Maybe we'll have to loop back around in a year and see if you've thrown your hat in the ring again. Maybe you'll be building 3 houses at once.
Yikes.
I don't think so, but no. Thank you for having us. This was a lot of fun.
So great. Here, this is where we'll also fill in my people back in the studio. Did we find out what their customer number was? Oh, you were customer number 1,560, which is really low. I think we're up into the 50, 60,000s now worth of customer ID numbers. So you've been with us a long time. So thanks so much. We appreciate you so much. And hopefully this isn't the last time we have you here at the Buildertrend offices.
Awesome.
Great.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you. So that was Greg and Katie Frazell from G. Lee Homes joining us on the podcast today to talk about Street of Dreams. Make sure you get connected with your local builders associations. Check out your HBA. Look for Parade of Homes or Street of Dreams opportunities. It's a great way to showcase your business, to show off, to get marketing exposure, and maybe, just challenge yourself, sweat bullets like Greg did, and see what you're capable of. So thanks for tuning into The Building Code. Make sure you rate, review, subscribe. Head to Facebook, join the Building Code crew. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know what's happening in your neck of the woods, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching the video. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel for exclusive content brought to you by Buildertrend.